Attorney Ward, can you tell us about the process of a personal injury case?
A personal injury case starts with an initial interview and a follow-up investigation. At the initial interview, the attorney discusses with the prospective client what happened to them, describes the accident, where any reports or documents regarding what happened can be obtained, what medical treatment, if any, they've already received, what type of injury they have. A client is asked to sign release forms so that their medical records from the accident and past medical records can be obtained. Whether or not the client has had any prior injuries or medical conditions, and whether or not they've had any prior claims is a factor. It's a factor because the other side, the insurance company, is entitled to that information and will always ask for it. The attorney explains to the client that part of the law is that a person has a duty to, quote, mitigate damages, close quote, which basically means that the amount of their compensation can be decreased unless they take reasonable steps to treat their injuries. The client is instructed to stay in touch with the office and the office staff regarding their medical appointments, and then it becomes a process of obtaining treatment records and analyzing the treatment records. The client is asked to keep a log or a diary if they have a serious enough injury regarding how the injury is impacting them, and to keep records of any out-of-pocket unreimbursed medical expenses and earnings records if they are losing income. Once a client has reached, quote, maximum medical improvement, close quote, then the issue of whether or not the case should be settled, and if so, for how much, is addressed. A maximum medical improvement basically means that a treating doctor would tell his patient, I've done all that I can for you at this point, and you've recovered as much as you're going to. It's important that the attorney have a cooperative relationship with a medical provider, because obviously, given the issues involved, information and ultimately perhaps testimony from the medical provider is necessary to prove the full extent of the harm and damage done to the client. Once a client has reached maximum medical improvement, the attorney, I will discuss with the client what I think is a reasonable settlement figure and how I think we should obtain it, and ask for the client's authority to try to settle the case if that's what they want. And most cases do settle, although some have to go to trial. A demand letter is written which describes how the injury happened, what the injury are, the amount of the medical expenses, any lost income, and has a demand for settlement. And then it becomes a question of negotiation, usually with an insurance company. And that's a settlement process that I will address. And then the other subject is, if the case cannot be settled, what happens if the case has to go into suit?